in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to and spit on that thing, you get me?
Obligatory Hawk Tua joke. You're welcome, Internet. Before I start talking about my new favorite video game addiction, I have a disclaimer. I enjoy a variety of video game genres. First-person shooters, RPGs, city builders, you name it, I've played it. After all, you don't get the queso physique by not playing games for hours on end.
It claps when I walk.
But for every hour spent playing a genre I do enjoy, there's a genre that I don't enjoy. For example, JRPGs, puzzle games, and sports games. But at the top of that list is indie games. I don't play a lot of indie games. You can't blame my smooth TikTok rot brain either, because I play a lot of single-player games that have stories with slow burns in them. I just find that a lot of indies overuse pixel art. They're the same 2D side-scrolling action and emotional artsy-fartsy gobbledygook. What I'm getting at is that besides a few standouts like Stardew Valley, Enter the Gungeon, and my previous favorite, most recent indie game, Day the Diver, I don't really play them because I just don't enjoy them. The games I just listed are games I would recommend, but given that they are mainstream indies, you most likely already have checked them out. So when my friend said, "Hey, check out this new game," I just rolled my eyes. That was until I saw them playing what looked like solitaire on a VLT machine. I was interested. After all, I love your grandma, and she loves gambling, so why not? My friends also gave me a warning though, that this game is not only addicting, but very difficult. I mean, you can't seriously think that the guy who spent days in the Veilstone City game corner playing slots for an Ice Beam TM, surely can't handle being the big roller at this table.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
So what happens when you mix crippling gambling addiction with the high-octane dopamine rush of opening rare Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon cards? You get my favorite indie game of the year, Balatro. Balatro was released on February 20th, 2024 across PC and all platforms, and sold 1 million copies in over a month. Balatro is a poker-themed roguelike deck builder made by a single developer known as Local Thunk. In Balatro, the object of the game is to challenge 3 bosses each round that are called blinds. All of these bosses are scaling in difficulty and buffs. You beat said bosses not by slicing with a sword or fat rolling out of undodgeable moves, but by playing poker hands with a standard deck of 52 playing cards, kinda like your grandma in a grimy casino. But unlike your grandma in a grimy casino, in Balatro, you actually hit the numbers. Matter of fact, it's all about numbers. Every poker hand has its own scoring multiplier, chips and mult. For example, a 2 pair pays out 20 chips and 2 mult. A 5 of a kind pays out 120 times 12. And a flush is something Disney Star Wars should do with their writers. At first glance, it may seem a little confusing with all the numbers.
Numbers, basically. What do they mean?
Basically, in Balatro, there's 2 numbers you have to keep track of, chips and mult. For every card you play, it will add that card's value to the chips, or the blue number, to your scoring equation. And anything that adds mult will get added to the red number, and that is what your chips get times by. So, if the pair plays out 10 times 2 and I play a pair of 5s, those 5s get added together to become 10, which then get added to the pair multiplier. So now the new scoring equation is 20 times 2 for a total of 40 points. After a few rounds of playing, you'll get the hang of it, and you'll just be itching for that high score. It feels so good to take down a blind with one swift hand because of your multiplication skills.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
When you select a blind, you get dealt 8 cards at a time with the option to either play 5 cards or discard up to 5 cards in order to fish for a better hand. Each round you have only a certain amount of attempts to reach the score and only a certain amount of times you can discard and fish for more. If you don't reach the boss's score within the set limit of hands, your run is over and it's back to the start. By the 4th round, the numbers start getting pretty high and bosses pretty tough, and slapping together regular pairs just won't cut it. That's where the other half of the game comes in. After defeating each boss, you'll earn a small portion of money which you can use to spend on opening card packs in store. Opening packs will reward you with special buffs and power-ups to help you reach scores much easier. The most lucrative power-ups in game are Joker cards, which grant a very wide variety of buffs and perks so long as the player holds on to the Joker. For example, if I open a pack and receive the Jolly Joker, it will add 8 plus mult if a played hand contains a pair. And if we look at the last hand where I only made 40 points because the equation was 20 times 2, now with just a single Joker I've added 8 mult to the equation, and it's now 20 times 10 for a total of 200 points. You can hold up to 5 Jokers at a time, and the combinations and strategy available here is very fun and rewarding. It's also very interesting to explore and see what wacky combos you can use to take down blinds. However, jokers aren't the only way that you can build your deck. There's planet cards that will increase the base score of played poker hands, tarot cards which offer a variety of perks like turning cards into gold, glass, and steel editions, which each provide their own pros and cons. And of course, spectral cards, one of my favorites, which are kind of like wild cards, each adding very powerful and potent abilities to your deck, but oftentimes coming with a caveat to your current build. There's tons of different builds and combos to have fun with, but it's also very important to keep track of your money. As much as this game is all about deck building strategy, it's also extremely important to watch over your economy because there's nothing worse than opening the store and seeing a joker that you can't afford.
We just need money. One more decent take.
And that, ladies and gents, is when it happens. The pure magic of Balatro. You want that gross Michelle card, but you don't have the cash flow. So you're forced to make a choice, a gamble about your run's future. Do you save what little money you have in hopes of a better powerful card, or even the chance to see that card again? Or do you sell what jokers you have to fund your new purchase? In Balatro, there's no way to tell if you made the right choice until you reach the end of the game. Oftentimes, you'll be presented with an issue thanks to a lack of funds or your joker's not scaling and forcing your hand to rebuild your deck. This is where I've been having the most fun with Balatro. I spent hours playing trying to collect all the jokers like a card pack opening degen, but a lot of time with Balatro has just been me and the peanut gallery. My friends and I all have this game on PlayStation, and we've been sharing each other's screens and playing as a think tank to help each other out, talking strategies like we were brainiacs instead of the knuckle-dragging Neanderthals that we actually are, hyping each other's successes and feeling the pain of bad luck and choices that we shouldn't have made. Watching your friend make a sacrifice that no one in the room is 100% sure will pay off is very stressful, but very entertaining to be a part of. Each time you enter the store, you never know what you're going to get. Could be something as legendary as one of the legendary jokers, or as useless as the obelisk joker.
Brother, what's that?
When I do reviews, I like to talk about everything that the game has to offer. Graphics, music, gameplay, you name it. Balatro may just be pure gameplay, but it still has an impressive art style. Balatro resembles something of a poker video machine from years past, almost giving off a VHS type of vibe. And the art for the jokers and other cards in game is gorgeous. Each card is different, and rare cards are easily identifiable, which adds to the excitement of when you open them in packs. Similar to how opening rare Pokemon cards feels in real life. I would absolutely love to get my hands on physical Balatro jokers if such a thing did exist, and I would proudly display them. If I could change anything about Balatro, it would simply be one thing, and that's just more of it, baby. More jokers, more tarot cards, more everything. I think this game is begging for free updates. I know Local Thunk is only one guy, and shout out to him for being Canadian. Way to go there, bud. All jokes aside, I think he's got something special here. A lot of people in the gaming community might cringe when I say this because, well, I hate it too, but this game should come to mobile. This is the perfect game to play on the go, on your morning commute, your road trip, wherever you are. It's a game that's small in file size and could probably run on just about anything, but having a game like Balatro be more readily available is what I think it really needs. I think Balatro is so good, not only should it win Indie of the Year, the VGAs, I mean, come on, Jeff, I know you like poker, make it happen. But I think this is entering Tetris territory, or Solitaire. I think Balatro should be preloaded on certain devices, just like they were. And it is just as, if not more addicting and replayable than Tetris. Heck, I can see this even being put in school computer labs. You could argue it, but it could almost be used as a multiplication math tool for a younger audience, rivaling even the legendary Math Circus. I think that says a lot about the game. The fact that I want to collect jokers and love its strategy and simplicity. I mean, heck, I don't even like playing poker, but Balatro has somehow kept me engaged in something I would normally have no interest in, both poker and indie games alike. It just has me coming back for more.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
In conclusion, I think Balatro is a game that, thanks to its simplicity and accessibility, everyone should play. And if it does end up on mobile with the odd free update, you've got a game that's only going to grow a dedicated fan base. A charming yet thought-provoking game that's not only fun alone, but especially with friends. Balancing chips and malt, jokers, tarot cards, and a few other upgrades I didn't mention simply because I want new people to experience this game on their own. I'm just here to give my opinions and make you laugh. As you manage your money and your luck, you'll be excited to jump back in if your gamble doesn't pay off. And just like a deck of cards or a casino, you don't know which way Lady Luck is gonna go, which I admit at times has caused me frustration. But, like a wise man once said,
That's right. It's the way she goes. Sometimes she goes, sometimes it doesn't. She didn't go. It's the way she goes.
hey, thanks for watching, everyone, and a big thanks to Local Funk for making the best game of the year. I've got more videos on the way. Also, I stream every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, on Twitch and YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So pop in and say hi if you want to have a laugh. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. I love you guys so much. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.